Good morning. It is Sunday, May the 30th of 2021. Year is almost half over. Well, I hope you had a great week last week. Thursday afternoon, I was driving home and I was going west on Washington Street, close to the intersection of Washington and Wallace. And there's a stoplight there at that intersection, and the light was green in my direction. But as I approached the intersection, out of the right corner of my eye, I noticed a vehicle that was traveling very, very fast. And so I glanced over and I noticed that there was no way this vehicle was going to stop at the intersection. And so I stopped short of the intersection. And sure enough, the lady driving the vehicle, I looked at her as she was driving, and there was just something about her. And I thought to myself, she's not stopping and she doesn't care. And sure enough, she went into the intersection, T-boned a pickup truck, knocked the pickup truck into the front yard of the house across the street, which then turned her car facing north on Washington Street, which is not a direction you want to be facing. Anyway, it was still moving. The momentum carried her over the curb on the north side of Washington, where she hit some type of electrical box and knocked it over. And all of this was right in front of me. I thought for a minute there she was going to hit my car, but she didn't. She then put the car into reverse, burned some rubber backing up, and then turned west on Washington Street and drove off. And when I saw all this happening, I took out my phone and I turned on the camera to record her license plate. But when she turned the car west on Washington, there was no license plate. So all I could get was a description of the vehicle. And so after she was gone, I pulled over on Wallace, put on my flashers, called 911, walked over to the pickup truck to see if the lady who was driving the pickup truck that was hit was okay. Several other people had stopped. I think one of them was a nurse, and she was talking to the driver. She was awake, didn't appear to be hurt, obviously shook up. By that time, she was on the phone talking to her daughter, telling her what had happened. But anyway, so I took out one of my business cards, wrote my cell phone number on there, and gave it to the lady who was watching over the lady in the pickup truck, and said, "Look, I saw the whole thing. If there's any questions, you need any help, give her this card and have her call me." But one of the things that I was thinking about when I saw the lady in the small SUV, and when I looked at her and I realized she's not stopping at the red light and she doesn't care. She doesn't care if she hurts herself. She doesn't care if she hurts other people. And I thought to myself, what is going on in a person's life where they get to the point, out of desperation, frustration, whatever it is, what is going on that is so bad that would lead this young lady to not care about herself and to not care about the possibility of hurting, possibly even killing other innocent people. And I thought about that famous statement that Jesus makes, that Matthew records for us in Matthew chapter 11, where Jesus says, "Come to me. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest for your souls." And for a moment, I wished I could have caught up with this lady and taken her somewhere, Starbucks, McDonald's, somewhere, and just sat down over a cup of coffee or a Dr. Pepper or something and said to her, "Okay, what's going on? How can I help?" Even if it's just letting you sit here for a few minutes and just vent. about the frustrations in your life, about the circumstances in your life that have got you down to the point where you're willing to possibly hurt yourself and hurt other people. What is going on? How can I help? There's no doubt this world is hurting. There's no doubt there are people among our congregation who are hurting emotionally, who are frustrated, who are facing some dire circumstances. And again, there's people in this town who are facing some tough circumstances, physically, emotionally, financially, and they need help. And we, as God's children, are the salt and light. We're the ones who can help, not because we're better than anybody else, but because we come to know Jesus. And as Jesus said, come to me, all of those who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. It's been a horrific year and a half. We've experienced something that none of us have ever gone through before. Financial turmoil, emotional turmoil, physical turmoil. We just don't know what to do. We just don't know where to turn, but we have the answer. And that answer is Jesus. So let's find those who are hurting, and it's not difficult to find people who are hurting. And let's ask them how we can help. And let's sit and talk to them. Let's hold their hand. Let's pray for them. Let's introduce them to Jesus, because he's the one who can help. Well, I pray you'll have a great week.